Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for being here tonight. For those of you who I have not met, I'm Tony Collins. I have the honor of being the Recreation and Parks Director for the greatest city in the country, if not the world, the city of Columbus. Thank you for that honor. I love it. I come to work every day excited, and this is the reason why this type of a day, this project, and what we've been able to do today is the reason why we come to work. So thank you for being here and being a part of an exciting time and an exciting day. This is our third meeting about the Linden Community Center. For those of you who didn't know, this is your first. Hopefully you've been to all three. I see a couple of familiar faces. We had two meetings earlier this summer, and I guess earlier this year in May, one at the beginning of May, one at the end of May, where we invited the community to come together, our neighbors, our community from all around, our partners, and offer us input on what we can do better to serve our neighborhoods, what we specifically can do better here in Linden to help invest in the community, to lift up the Linden neighborhood, and make sure that we're living up to the passion that the mayor has and his commitment to neighborhoods, as well as to fulfill our mission of connecting the people of our community through the power of nature, creativity, and wellness. So we appreciate all the input that we've gotten in those community meetings. In addition to those two meetings, our center manager, Carlos Pace, can everybody give a big hand for Carlos? I don't know how many times you've been in this building, but every time I come in this building, I'm greeted by Carlos's smile. And there's nothing else that makes your day happier than to see Carlos. And I know that the kids and families of this neighborhood get a chance to see that as well. So it makes my heart happy. In June, Carlos, along with our partners from Moody Nolan, Pizzuti, MKSK, sat down with the kids of our neighborhood to design what they wanted to see their dreams and their visions for what should be in their neighborhood park, as well as in our Linden Community Center. And we took down their ideas, we played some games, we constructed some diagrams, and I hear a special helper in the name of Paul might have brought some ice cream, and we enjoyed some ice cream together. Is that true? That's true. So a big hand to Paul, right, for the ice cream? Sorry, I didn't bring ice cream today. In addition to the community meetings, we made sure we reached out across the neighborhood. We, in partnership with our other departments in the city, the Neighborhoods Department, Nicholas Bankston's here from Neighborhoods, and we appreciate all of the outreach that they have helped us with to make sure we get to the neighborhoods. We've reached out to our nonprofit partners, we've reached out to the church community, and we've also sent out a survey to all of our residents to get input and to get ideas and to make sure that we heard from every community member about what they felt should be in this new center and this investment. Today, you're in a 24,000 square foot building that the core piece, and I believe all of you will attest, and Carlos, you can tell me if I'm wrong, in 1951 started as a park shelter, right? And over the years, we've added and added and added. And here you are in a 24,000 square foot building that's been here for quite a few days and served a lot of people and done some great work in this neighborhood. It has been a destination for a lot of youth and families and has done some amazing work, and a lot of people in this room have grown up in this building and had a great opportunity to connect with our adult leaders and mentors and learn a little bit about themselves. And so this building has served its needs and has done a phenomenal job. But we think there might be a little bit more. We think that this neighborhood deserves even more. We think that this building can bring a lot more joy to not just the youth and families of our communities, but to all the residents of our communities. We know that, so I think most of you know this, but just a reminder, this is one of 29 of our community centers. We have 29 community centers throughout the city. We have over 350 parks. We maintain over 14,000 acres. And within those acres, we have over 120 miles of trails for folks to use for transportation, recreation. We have 6 golf courses, 5 athletic complexes, and thousands of people are in our parks and in our events and in our programs every single day. We take that very seriously. And we believe that our parks and our recreation system is not just about where programs and activities are fun, which it's very important by all means, but we believe that our centers celebrate our culture, and we believe our centers help lift up our neighborhoods. But we think they can do more. We think that our centers can be a center for opportunity, an opportunity for our partners to connect, an opportunity for nonprofits to come into our buildings and help do the good work, for our community members, our young people, whether you're, again, celebrating your first birthday or your 100th, to come together, to be together, to celebrate their community together, to learn, to grow, and to become even a better neighborhood and offer a better community. We think that that's what this center can be. We believe that we're going to need the help of everyone in this room and others in the community, private, nonprofit, and our partners across the city, to make this not just for today, but to make this a legacy to last for years to come. This is about not today, not me and you, not even just about those of us in the neighborhood that this center will serve. This is about for the children and the families that will come for years and years. This is a legacy and investment. So today you're going to hear from Mayor Ginther.
Well, I do have the best job in the best city in America, and I've had a tremendous day. I got to start this morning with an incredible team out at the Westgate Center over on the hilltop, and get to wrap up this evening here with a couple of stops in between along the way. I want to thank you all for joining me, and to Mr. Pace and your team and the entire family here at Linden. Ambrosia, thanks for sharing your story, your connection. Thanks for your continued service to the families and children of this neighborhood. Let's give her a round of applause. There's no mistaking that Columbus is a great city. 2 years ago, I made a promise to Columbus residents that my top 3 priorities would be neighborhoods, neighborhoods, neighborhoods. And because neighborhoods are where we connect and where we live our lives, it's important for us to accomplish this work by tasking each of our leaders of the different departments at the city to provide solutions for how every department within the city could contribute to us becoming and realizing our dream of becoming America's opportunity city. Since then, we've created the Department of Neighborhoods. We've launched important initiatives like Celebrate One. We've dedicated city dollars to tackling the ravages of the opioid epidemic. We dedicated city resources to workforce development and safety initiatives, all while working with community members and friends like you. In the midst of all of these important actions has been the Columbus Recreation and Parks Department, serving as the backbone and, for many of our residents, the front door to city government, especially in our neighborhoods. Like Linden, the department is a hub for collaboration on many of the city's most important issues. So when I took office, I asked Director Collins to find a way that the Columbus Recreation and Parks Department could support this important work. And within no time, and thanks to community members like you, he was able to provide a new vision for the Linden Community Center and a model which I believe will transform the way recreation services are performed and offered across our city for generations to come. As I always say, if you're focused on neighborhoods and your top 3 priorities are neighborhoods, your general fund budget and capital budget better reflect those priorities. So as a city, we've committed to completely rebuild the Linden Community Center and Park with over $25 million in capital funds. Additionally, I am happy to announce tonight that we are in the process of implementing the details of a community benefits agreement into this construction contract. Just as importantly, this community benefits agreement will include not only labor, but community members as well. Just like Ambrosia, we want those folks that have grown up in this community, that live in this community, to work with us and participate as we reimagine this center and this park. Nothing will represent Linden pride more than having the residents of Linden helping us to build it. The support of local labor and local community members like you. This building and park will be a magnet for regional growth. As Director Collins mentioned, the building we are standing in is approximately 24,000 square feet. The new building is expanding to over 55,000 square feet. Key features of the park will include spaces to connect with nature. We're relocating the pond and updating the green space. We're enhancing park lighting, walking paths, and safety features. Additionally, the building entrance will no longer face an alley, but will be positioned to be open and welcoming to all. Lastly, the programming in Linden will hold true to the commitment of being an accessible destination for all members of the Linden community. Because of your feedback and engagement, we plan to transform how recreation and parks can support all neighbors and strengthen all neighborhoods. In preparation for accessing the community center and parks programming, Director Collins and his team began the process of truly evaluating multiple service delivery models within the recreation and parks profession across the country. They researched models in cities like Chicago, New Orleans, Atlanta, and Washington to find the best way to help neighbors reach their full potential and to lift up the most vulnerable in our community. What they found were cities that utilize community centers as hubs for public-private collaboration on after-school services, nutrition programming, creative arts, health and wellness. For most cities, this collaboration takes place in one neighborhood, like the Andrew Sanchez Center in the lower 9th Ward of New Orleans, or the Malcolm X Opportunity Center located across the Anacostia River in Washington, D.C.'s southeast corridor. However, in Columbus, our vision is bold. We know that this type of collaboration between public, nonprofit, and private supporters is a solution not just for one neighborhood. It is the solution for every neighborhood, because we, in Columbus, call this the Columbus Way, and we are calling our approach the Centers for Opportunity model. This model emphasizes collaborative program and service delivery to promote play, elevate health and wellness, celebrate creative arts, embrace nature, and grow together. We are starting in Linden because Linden is home to residents and community leaders like you who know the importance of innovation. You are committed to the history, culture, and future of this community. There is an exceptional spirit here in Linden, so we're starting right here, the Linden Community Center and Park. To get this transformational work done, we're going to need you, continue to need you. We're going to need nonprofit collaborators, and we're going to need partners. We just left a few minutes ago sharing some important news about the creation of the Columbus Recreation and Parks Foundation. So we're engaging the private sector in ways that we never have before to make these centers of opportunity become a reality. Today, I'm happy to share that the Department of Public Service has lent their support to this project by expanding access and connectivity to the community center and park. The Department of Public Health has raised their hand to increase health and wellness services in the Linden Community Center. The Boys and Girls Club, the Mid-Ohio Food Bank, and COSI have all raised their hands to support this community. We are stronger together, and this will be a great example for neighborhoods throughout our great city. True to the very philosophy of public parks and recreation is the idea that all people should have the opportunity not to just survive, but thrive and grow and prosper in their neighborhoods. Earlier today, I had the opportunity, as I mentioned, to celebrate with a group of community leaders to announce the official launch of the Recreation and Parks Foundation. This foundation will work to ensure all Columbus residents have access to recreational programs, facilities, places, and spaces that make their lives and our neighborhoods great. With the support of multiple departments, community leaders, and nonprofit partners, I am confident the Centers for Opportunity model, based on best practices from around the country and a little bit of the Columbus way, is going to be a strong pathway towards lifting the neighborhood of Linden and offering more opportunities to those that grow up here in the future. We are starting in Linden. We are starting in Linden. And we are excited to take this transformational journey toward reshaping this building and park because of the advocacy, the support, and the vision of our neighbors here in Linden. I am more bullish about the future of this neighborhood than I ever have been before. The resiliency, the vision, the commitment of our neighbors here in Linden has never been stronger. And I know Linden's best days are right around the corner because of you. Now let's take a moment to hear from one of our partners who's committed to working with the city in a new way. They work with us all over in many parts of town, but we're thrilled to have Rebecca Asmo with the Boys and Girls Club of Columbus. Please welcome her to the podium.
Good evening, everybody. My name's Rebecca Asmo, and I'm the CEO of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Columbus. It's so great to be here today. The Boys and Girls Clubs, we really focus on providing out-of-school time programming for the young people who need us most in the community, with a goal of helping every young person reach their full potential. We've served youth in Columbus since 1948, but for most of that history, we really focused on two neighborhoods, the East Franklinton neighborhood in Columbus and the Milo Grogan neighborhood. And really, over the past, I'd say 8 or 9 years, we've really expanded on our mission. And today we serve youth in 11 different neighborhoods throughout the Central Ohio region. But we've never had a footprint here in Linden. We do serve about 500 youth from the Linden community every single year. But what's so exciting about this opportunity is that we will really have a chance to do so much more in this community and be a presence. And it is our vision and it is our hope that every single young person in this community will be able to walk through our doors and have the opportunity to achieve whatever it is they want, whether it's being successful in school, having a high-wage career, hope for the future, and then being able to come back and give back to this community. When Director Collins invited the Boys and Girls Clubs to be a part of this last spring, it didn't even take a thought to say yes. And what I see in this city right now is something really special and something that a lot of us that work in youth services or serving any people in this community haven't seen before. So I too am very bullish, I'm hopeful, and I'm excited to hear from all of you about what we can do to do the best for our kids, because every kid and every teen and every person in this community has what it takes, and it's up to us to just be able to deliver that. Now, I'm the only one standing between the really exciting stuff, which is the building plans, and I know that's why everybody is really here. So please welcome Howard Blaisdell, sorry, did I pronounce that correctly, who is the project manager from Moody Nolan, and he's gonna show you the good stuff. Howard? Sorry.
Howard and I do get mistaken for brothers from time to time. Howard, could you stand so everybody's... It happens, you know, what can you say? My name's Jonathan Moody. I'm president of Moody Nolan, so not Howard Blaisdell, but I'm also excited to be here. These are the types of things that really get me up and get me excited in the morning, to see projects and opportunities like this where there's so much passion, so much energy, so much excitement about something that will truly be transformational. So it's exciting to be a part of it. As you said, I'm standing between us and the good stuff, so I do want to get into that. As previously mentioned, this is our third meeting, actually. The previous two had a lot of great engagement. And we heard a lot of good feedback from the residents, which really helps to inform our team and inform the Parks and Rec department on opportunities to really make the project great and to make it what you really want it to be. As president of Moody Nolan, our team is committed to ensuring that we understand your needs and that we do listen and take the feedback, not for granted, but take it into account on the project. We wanted to make sure that we designed a space that promoted play, elevated health and wellness, celebrated the arts, embraced nature, and most importantly, a space where community members could connect. So with that, I'll turn to a few slides that kind of highlight some of the features that really begin to show you what does that really mean. So this is really an aerial view. So this is if we're kind of up in the air, overlooking the park, where you can see, and you can see my laser pointer a little bit. This is really where you see the overall view of the park, where you see some of the features like the lake and some of the walking paths and play fields we mentioned, and the building is really right here in this zone. So no longer is the building facing, with the front door onto the alley, but the building is open and welcoming, as mentioned previously. So some of the specifics, really what we get into, there's really kind of three zones that begin to define kind of the different parts of the park. So what we've talked about is really kind of the more passive zone, where the walking paths, the lake, the existing structure where you could host weddings and those types of things still exists. There's the recreation zone that has some of the play fields, like soccer and baseball and others. And then there's really the active zone, which is really where you get into some of the hard surfaces and playground spaces, spray ground. The building is right there in that zone off to the far right on your page. Yeah, there. So getting into some of the specifics of the space, Really, there's three major zones. So the front door is really right here, which is just, if you're coming in from the south, this would be the front door that you would see as you come into the building. And there's really a big rec and fitness zone here. There's a multi-purpose zone here. And there's really a learning and education and community partner zone over there. Some of the specific spaces that we do have that we are excited about. There is a teaching kitchen, there is a full-size gym, there's a gymnastics room, there's a music and recording studio, there's dedicated senior space, there's a learning lab that focuses on STEM and outdoor education. It's a great opportunity to do that really right here with the park. There's multi-purpose swing space, there is a spray ground, and we're calling the Blue Jackets Playground at this point. So yeah, you can clap for that. Yeah. So yeah, really the main entry is here, and again the multi-purpose zone is here, and there is the direct connection out to the park out that way. So people who are, if you're coming from Cleveland Avenue, you'd come down this way and see the entry here. And if you're coming from the south, you'd come and see it that way. And all of that is really to kind of get you out and engaged into the park space. The second floor is really where we have a little bit more of that fitness space and the walking track that walks around. Some of the people who, if you don't want to be out walking on the path, there is an opportunity to do some of that walking in a conditioned space on the second floor. And this is really an opposite view. So if Cleveland Avenue would be off to the right on this screen, and then 71 would be off to the left. You see the building here, and you see the park over here. So really those zones, again, of the different parts of the park and how the building begins to engage. But again, everybody wants to know, what does it begin to look like? So this is that view, if you're standing in the park looking toward Cleveland Avenue, this is where you'd see the outdoor playground space. You begin to see how the building engages and connects with the park, the children's playground and playground area, and you're seeing the building right here in the background. And then this view is if you come down a little bit from the south, where you begin to see, the entry element and so how some of those spaces engage, at a little bit closer level from what is the southwest part of the building. I'm excited about this project. I think it's really going to be an amazing space. I can't wait to see, the next phases and to see the continued progress. And look forward to keeping you and the city of Columbus involved in this transformational work. So with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Tony Collins for closing remarks.
So I work in this world every day, so when I see cool pictures like this, I get super excited. I hope you get excited, but I want to just say a couple of things real quick as we wrap up. We met the mayor. First off, thank you, Mayor, again for your support. I said this earlier today. When we brought the idea of the Linden Community Center and the Linden Park refresh, we'll call it, to the mayor and brought the idea of the foundation being set up to support what we're doing in recreation and parks, as well as specifically the Opportunity Center concept, the mayor said, how can I help? And what can we do? And he's been passionate about his support and made sure that we have the resources to make sure this happens. I also want to tell you that our Recreation and Parks Commission, Commissioner Collarothan's here, Commissioner Wright's here, Mo Wright's here. They have pushed us as a department to make sure this vision is realized, and we've been supported by our members of council. Councilmember Elizabeth Brown is our Recreation and Parks representative. Jiza Page, President Hardin, Pro Tem Cinziano have all been so supportive of this work. But I just want to tell you a couple of the highlights. I don't know if you picked up a couple of new things that were in there that you may not have seen before, but did you see the dedicated senior space? This is a center that is open for everyone. The first birthday or your 100th birthday, this center will have all those spaces. The full-size gymnasium. We are a health and wellness center. We want people to be physically active. We know whether you're a pickleball player, a volleyball player, or a basketball player, we hear it every day. This will be our first full-size gymnasium in all of our community centers in Columbus. That's pretty incredible. We know that everybody doesn't walk on a court. We know that everybody doesn't walk on a court. Some people want to be on a mat. Some people want to do cheerleading. Some people want to do dance. Some people want to do gymnastics. This space is going to have a place for that to happen. And we know that not everybody, not just the physical side of what we do, not just the health and wellness, but they want to grow their creativity. They want lifelong learning opportunities. They want to learn how to be more healthy. So there's a teaching kitchen in this building. A teaching kitchen where we can learn together. We were just at our community center up in Lizelle, where one of our center leaders had a group of young people in, and they were making frozen yogurt treats that they could have, the entire camp could have that day, using all natural ingredients. That's the type of education that we want the kids and the families and the adults in our neighborhood to have. This center is going to have one of those things. None other center in this city has one of those right now, today. The other thing I want to point out that's something unique that we don't have in any of our centers, because we believe not just in terms of equity, in terms of access of youth sports, and we definitely want to promote health and wellness, but this center is going to be our first center with a music studio, where we can help lift up the arts through performance, through arts, and through creative arts. We want kids to have access in the Linden neighborhood and the Linden community to those opportunities as well. Absolutely. And you heard one other little thing I just want to mention in that presentation, the Blue Jackets playground. For those of you who don't know, the Columbus Blue Jackets have committed over $400,000 to Columbus Recreation and Parks. Actually, we were totaling it up today. We have, the Blue Jackets have given over over $550,000 to Columbus Recreation and Parks in the past few years. Their commitment to the community is demonstrated. We have playgrounds around the city. This center is going to have a Blue Jackets playground here, one of our brand new Blue Jackets playgrounds. So it's hands down, we are doing this with the commitment of our private partners, our nonprofit partners, and those of us in the public that believe in this work and believe in the Linden community. So finally, I'm done. I just want to tell you, you can tell I'm excited. I want to tell you thank you for being here one more time. We've got boards up around the room. Our partners with our design teams, our staff are going to be here. Please come around, visit, ask questions. We look forward to meeting you and talking to you and answering your questions. Have a great day.